Hello and welcome to the Healing Quest. I'm Kate Ellis. I am a clinical counseling hypnotherapist and I have been in practice for over 24 years. That's as long as I would admit to it. But I've been doing this a very long time and I am often surprised by people and how flexible and plastic that the mind and the subconscious mind is. Often I'll say if you can create the condition, you can uncreate the condition or even become better because of it. This particular episode in Adventures of a Hypnotherapist is a story of a client who came to see me years ago who was diagnosed with Crohn's disease. Now, the interesting thing about this client is I never met her in person during the disease process. I actually counseled her and taught her over the phone on how to heal herself. And the most amazing thing is after 8 months of talking to her on the phone, teaching her about meditation, teaching her about energy medicine or vibrational medicine, which is basically light. If you can imagine a light and a light coming in through your body, it has a certain vibrational value that physiologically, emotionally, and psychologically affects the body and can affect healing. So over the phone for about 8 months, we were working together, and then all of a sudden she got what I was talking about. Now, this particular person wasn't very spiritual or very religious, even though she was born into a Catholic home and went to church occasionally. She wasn't really interested in religion or dogma or even developing her spirituality at this particular point in her life. She was in her young 20s, about 23 years old when this patient presented to me. Once she got what I was talking about, this person who was on 17 different medications, including many of them being steroids, had healed herself. She had 52 ulcerations and scar tissues in her intestines, her large and small intestines from the Crohn's disease. She had healed herself in 3 months and was off most of her medications. The doctors were absolutely amazed at the lack of medication that she needed. She had to go in for quarterly Xrays, which she had a standing order for, and went to her local hospital at this particular quarter to have the X-ray done. And she walks in, it was a different technician. And she has the X-ray done of her stomach, her stomach area. And the X-ray technician walked her out of the X-ray room and says, "By the way, what are we X-raying you for?" And she goes, "Oh, well, I have Crohn's disease and I have all these ulcers and the scar tissue and the doctors are just keeping check on it." He goes, "Really? Would you mind doing the X-ray again, please?" And she's like, she had time. She's like, "Sure, not a problem. I'll certainly do that for you." And she goes back and he does the X-ray again. And a little while later, he walks her out and he goes and he brings the X-ray with her and he goes, "You don't have any scar tissue or ulcerations. There's nothing here." And she was kind of confused, but she left the hospital anyway. The report was sent to her doctors and her surgeons, and they could not believe what they were seeing, and they had her go back again, thinking that the X-ray technician had messed up her X-rays with somebody else's. And so she went in for a third time and had the X-ray done, and the results were the same. There was no scar tissue, and there was no ulcers or anything like that. They were absolutely astounded at this and actually had a board meeting with her there and were asking her, "Well, what is going on? What did you do?" And she says, "Well, I had worked with a hypnotherapist who taught me how to heal myself. And all the 9 doctors that she had, every single one of them poo-pooed it and just blew her off and says, we must have misdiagnosed her, even though there was other X-rays showing these ulcerations and scar tissues. There was only one of the doctors who was really, his mind was open to this, and I don't know what happened to that afterwards. They were going to fly me out and ask me exactly what I did, but he was overturned." The next time I seen this client, she was complaining of stomach issues. Now, this is about 10 years down the road. She's in complete remission. As far as Crohn's disease is concerned, I understand you're not cured, but it can go into remission. And so she's seen me because she was having a lot of stress in her life, and she was beginning to experience stomach problems. Not like she had in the past, but she was concerned and she wanted a refresher. And so I hypnotized her, and she came out of the session. She's like, "Oh, God, finally it's gone." And I'm like, "What's gone?" She goes, "Oh, my shoulder pain." And I says, "What shoulder pain? You didn't tell me that you had any shoulder pain." She goes, "Yeah, I tore my rotator cuff about 2 years ago, and I've been in chronic pain ever since then. And it's gone. I'm so happy it's gone." And it has been gone ever since. Her body spontaneously healed and repaired the tear in her rotator cuff. Absolutely astounded. Absolutely astounded. I was very happy for her. I thank you very much for your time and listening to Adventures of a Hypnotherapist. The mind is the most amazing thing, and sometimes even if I'm not aware that you have other issues that maybe I didn't ask about or you made no mention of, they can heal as well. The mind is an amazing, flexible, wonderful thing. There are no limits. You are an unending horizon. You may contact me at thehealingquest.com. My practice specializes in anxiety, panic attack, permanent correction, as well as a host of other things. I have a special Magic 21 weight loss program that I am doing, as well as any other issues you might want to talk about. Thank you. Take care.